What's going on, guys? Nick here with Ranch Armor, and I'm here with my guy Coy behind the camera, Jay-Con, who's not on camera yet. And today we're doing the install for the wiring side of our aluminum modular bolt-on racks. So you've seen the video and the install so far on how to get to this point, how the roof, the bolt-on rack mounts, the different packages. Now we're gonna do the wiring and installation aspect to do what? Light up your lights, get electricity to them. So this is our Pack E. This is our 50-inch green-white all the way around. And guys, whether it's gonna be the Pack E or the Pack 2 with the 50-inch low pro in the front, rear pods in the rear, or you buy a package and utilize your own lights, your goal is to use the internal clips and wire routing on our racks to get your wires back here. Whether you have an open cab or a closed cab, this installation on what we do today is exactly how you do it. There may be some preferences that you choose to do differently along the way, but this is the professional way that we do it here at Ranch Armor, and this is the way we recommend. So again, getting all your wires back here from the type of rack you have, whatever the light setup, you want to route everything back to this corner. We're gonna stop the video there and show you the steps to getting this thing fired up, baby. Let's go.
Okay, so whenever you're drilling a hole, you're gonna drill on your closest hole right here to these two mounts.
What's the hole for?
The hole is gonna be for your wire coming from the top side through, and it'll come with a grommet. You'll pass your wire with loom through that grommet to the interior.
Perfect.
So now that you have your hole, you can get your unibit and wallow
Nice
your hole out.
Nice little step there. Or I mean, if they have like an inch hole, how big of a hole does it need to be?
It needs to be roughly about inch and an eighth inch. So you're gonna lubricate this outer loom, that way you can finally get this grommet over. And then that will help a lot, trying to get that loom and all four wires pushed through that hole. And now all you have to do is align your grommet. It is a slotted grommet, so it's gonna go in your hole just, I think it looks good like that. Okay, so this is the wire actually coming through your plastic top. You're going to run it down here behind your seat belt. You can get creative and use this factory hole for a P-clamp or whatever you want to, but right here we're gonna use a zip tie coming from here to here. This bar will be usable whether you have a window or not. On a limited version, the only difference that you're gonna have here is you're gonna have a factory headliner up top. If you want to cut a little slit or go around your headliner and make this come down, you can go ahead and do that, and that leaves you enough slack here for final connection for your wires. Okay, so first off, we have your 8-gang power, or your 8-gang switch here. This is where all your light connection is gonna end, and then you're gonna ground that. You're going to have your auxiliary power kit that's gonna come with your true mods, and that's gonna run down to a relay next to the battery. We'll show that here soon, but this is just set up for our convenience. We already did it prior. We set it here simply because you can remove the seat, you can still access this, you can still do maintenance on it if you have a loose connection, or if there's a connection that you think would be better in a different port or whatever
Fuse.
it may be. Fuse, yeah, you need to change out a fuse, you can go ahead and do that. So that's why we chose this point.
So you drill how many holes?
So it's going to be 2 holes right here for your 8-gang, one at the top, one at the bottom, and you're going to do one down here for your auxiliary power kit. We put it right here because it gets covered by the seat. The seat only comes down to about right here per se.
Perfect. All right, guys, I'm gonna explain the wires coming into your relay pack that we send you with your power kit. So this is your power coming from your battery through your relay. The way this works is when the ignition signal, which is this wire, Coy, if you get underneath here, this is your ignition signal from your ignition hot accessory, which turns on with your key power. This comes from the front, we'll show you how we got it. Fires this close to allow power to flow through to this. Power comes through, up to the control box, allows it to have power. This is a ground that grounds the relay box individually, and we ground that to the battery. So power in, signal wire, ground, power out to the box.
Okay, obviously we have the back panel already removed. That's going to cover your battery, it's going to cover your relay. Okay, now once we're done with the back, we can move on to the front. And same concept, you're going to remove all your push pins. and take off your panels.
All right, both main panels have been removed, exposing the interior. We'll show you where we route the wires. All right, guys, remember we were talking about the signal wires in the relay box earlier, what the different 4 wires going into it were? This is your signal wire coming down. This is what's going to receive the signal from the machine to activate a ignition hot power. This is a factory harness that's underneath here, okay? It's got a few different connections. You've got a large solid pink with a small white line, and you've got a large white with a small pink line. You can also test one of these with ignition hot with a voltmeter to see which one fires up, gives you your 12 volt power. But this one, the one we're using, is the pink with the very thin white line. You're going to use the female to male butt connector, plug it in, and now you're all set in terms of that firing up with ignition power. All right, guys, just to reiterate a little clearer, this is your signal wire again. Mostly pink with a thin white line, butt connector going up, as you can see here. We're gonna follow this up. We've got it wrapped around here, and it goes into the bottom of the relay box. You've got power in, signal, ground, power out. All right, guys, just follow us here. This seems a little backwards, but it's not. That butt connection we just did on the back, that's your signal wire. Technically, it does not have signal yet. We have to jump a wire behind your screen to basically extend it to allow power to flow through back to your signal. Basically, that factory connection back there does not have power until you jump it here, and we're going to show you how to do that.
Okay, most people are going to want to take off their dash if you want to. We're going to do easy access and go from underneath, take the screen off. There's going to be 4 10mm screws in the back that's holding it on. We have power over here. We're trying to get it from here to there to finish the circuit. Okay, right now we're taking off the back 4 10mm that's in the back of the screen. And that'll give us access to take off the screen and remove the electrical connection in the back of the screen. Okay, after you have your back 4 10mm out, you're going to take off the screen. You got to be very gentle. This thing's like $8 grand to replace. And then from that, you're going to take off this back wiring harness, and then you can remove your screen. 3, 2, 1, talk. All right, so you're going to push down this little tab, and then you're going to pull back on this thing. It can be very tricky. This thing is not easy to take off.
They don't want you taking it off.
Okay, after a little bit of struggle, it will come off. It's going to be this big monster right here.
And you didn't use any tools?
No, no tools. So you just have to push down at the right spot.
$8,000 screen, there you go.
Shit. Yeah, just throw this off to the side. Okay, wait.
All right, guys. John, careful. Take it to the table. Set it down. Padded table. Here we go, nice and safe.
Okay, so here's your signal wire coming up from the back, what we previously connected that Nick showed you. And that is going to take our jumper that's going to be sent with your kit. And you're just going to plug that right. Okay, once that's connected, you're going to push this wire into your dash, and it is going to go over to your bus bar. Okay, you're going to push that wire inside your dash, and that is your signal wire coming from the bottom. And you're going to run it to your bus bar that is behind the screen. That's why we had to take out the screen. Okay, you have your signal wire coming up. You're going to feed this into your dash, and you're going to reach through your screen hole. And you're going to run that wire back around, and we'll show you on this which post it's going to go on. So it's going to go on this back post back here. Let me get the light for you, Nick. So on this back post, you're going to put your eyelet over, and there is a factory 10mm that it comes with.
Let's see if you can do it.
And you are going to
use the camera if you want.
Ooh.
Not a bad deal.
Okay, so it is a little tricky to time, but you're going to take your 10mm and you are going to snug your nut onto it. So this is final install. So you're going to tighten it all the way until it's snug, about right there. Okay, this is your control panel here. This is your interface where all your lights are going to be, your white and green, your DIY, your whatever it may be, slim lights, backlights. And this is where we put it. And so we put 2 screws through the plastic, bolted them behind. That gave us enough room. That way we could run this wire back and underneath our dash. And we'll show you how we fished it through our wiring tunnel. Go and talk. Okay, first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna take this panel off, and that will give you a great route to bring your wire over and then down. Okay, so your wire from your control panel is gonna go up, and we put it around, like if you see it here, it goes up and then it goes around the frame right here. It doesn't interfere with the back of your screen or anything like that. And then you are going to route it with this loom piece. So we're going to zip tie it, start it off, and then we're going to run it all the way along this loom to the back. Okay, once you have your wire ran with this loom all the way to the back, you're going to fish your final connection up through to your 8-gang power switch. And it's going to be this white 3-pin prong right here. You're just going to plug it in. And that is your final connection for your control box. You can go ahead and tighten this up, put the cover on, and put the seat on. And if you need to rewire something or diagnose something, you still have access to it and everything. Okay, you want to make sure your wires are out of the way on each side and place your cover on. Okay, once you have all this buttoned up and everything, you can go ahead and put your seat back on. It just has friction pins in the back, so it just pops into place just like that. And now your seat's back to normal. Your back is done, and we're going to put our plastics down on the floorboard, and we should be done. Okay, now we're putting the screen back on. That's going to be this big boy again.
And that's if your model has a screen. So open cabs, it's got to be a Lone Star model or the upgraded model, and then obviously the closed cab models, the Limiteds and the Lone Stars there are going to have the screen models.
Okay, now we're going to put the screen back on. This is the connection on how to do it if your model does have a screen. So you're going to put that back in, and then you're going to get underneath and put your 10 mils back on.
Make sure you hold it. You don't want it falling.
Yeah, make sure you hold it. Okay, you do not have to remove these. We just did it for camera purposes. So they're just pushed back in just like that.
So screen's reinstalled, tightened.
Yes, everything is reinstalled.
And on, not only do you not have to remove these, but on a closed cab model that has heat and AC, these are your vents, so obviously not removable. All right, guys, we're putting the floor panels back on. Start with the back first. It is a little bit trickier, and then we'll get to the front.
Okay, so you have a couple Torx that you're going to reinstall. It's going to be the T20s that go right here, and then your T25s, that one goes underneath this plate. Just remember to put it on before putting it on this plate, and one right here.
All right, we got J-Con putting on the back battery cover, guys. He says it is easier to do it with the initially with the seat up, then slide it into place. All right, go ahead and replace it. Secure it with your factory hardware little key turns. All right, guys, so what we're gonna do is we are gonna show you how to connect all your wires coming down from your lights. So we're gonna take the seat off, gain access again to the distribution panel that we provide and we installed earlier.
Go ahead and grab our test battery. We're gonna grab one of our wire ends.
So what we're trying to do, J-Con, right now is we're trying to find the front light bar first for our wire connections, right?
Therefore, yes, sir. And black is always ground, so therefore we're gonna hook our ground up to the ground, and our red would be positive.
Wow, we got lucky. Look at that. First try, J-Con. There we go.
There we go. So
perfect. Let's go on.
Now that we've identified our front light bar, we're gonna go ahead and come down here On our control box, it says number 1. So therefore, we're going to hook our front light bar up to number 1. So we're going to unscrew this. That's our positive. We're going to unscrew this. It's our negative. And therefore, we're going to swing on over into number 2 down here, and we're going to unscrew our positive as well.
All right.
All right, therefore, our red was our white. We tested it with our power source, so our red wire is white light, and then our blue wire was green light. So therefore, we're going to put red on number 1, positive. I'm not left-handed, so a little tricky.
So because these lights are green and white.
Correct. We're going to
have
go ahead and hook them up separately, because if we put them all together, you'll have a
green and white.
Yes, an off-white or off.
So if they do a different package, if they do like a package 2 low pro, which is just white, or use your own lights that are just white, obviously they won't need to go to a secondary fuse to control a secondary color.
Correct. All right, now that we've got it hooked up, we have our positive, which is white, our black, which is ground, and then our blue, which is green. So therefore, we're going to come around. Give me a second. Come around to the unit. Go ahead and power it on. Then we're going to come down and hit our first one, and we have power.
Perfect.
That's our white one. And then the second one would be our green one. And if you want them both together, you push white, the first one and second one. All right, we're going to go ahead. We've located our side lights, so we're going to go ahead and tie the two together. Our grounds are going to go to grounds, black, remember.
Now, if they wanted to do them independently, they could go through the more extensive wiring process and do that.
Correct.
But we usually do them to the same one guy, so if you fire up sides, they both fire up.
All right, now that we've located all of our lights, we determined that this is the front light bar. These are our 2 side light bars. We tied them together, and then this would be our rear side bar, which is up here on top. Okay, now that we've have our lights set up in the back, we're gonna go to our box, and we're gonna go ahead and grab our stickers out. Now we're gonna go ahead and come over here to the first one, and therefore we are gonna locate the one on here that says front.